皆様おはこんばんにちはなんだぜ。マリサだぜ。
いつもご視聴ありがとうございます。パチュリーよ。
今回もキラーフリー検視、やっていくんだぜ。
There's gotta be more in the basement to show us who Clive is targeting. And if that's the case, we can get ahead of him. Stop the killings before they can happen. Forrest, we need to go back down.
By we, you mean me, right?
Yep. Like I said, I need to handle all these calls. Maybe start with that creepy mannequin room you mentioned before. I still have a lot of questions about those, by the way.
Me too.
という状況みたいだな。
じゃあ、前回言った地下室を、もう一度調べるのね。
だいたい全部見たと思うんだがな。何か見落としがあったか？あ、今回は不気味な雰囲気が復活してる。
どうでもいいわよ。
今気づいたけどこの掲示板。あ、特に読めるものはないな。じゃあなんでもないぜ。こんな紙、前からあったか？
急に増えるわけないし、あったんじゃない？
全然気づいてなかったな。ウッドサイドアパートのご紹介。最先端のラグジュアリーアパートが、キャローズクリークで完成間近。
不動産のチラシね。
あんまり重要そうではねえな。線路や工業地区から離れた、町の中心地にあるので、社会人の方や、小さなお子様がいる方にも最適です。市民プールもついてるのかここ。
市民プールじゃうるさそうね。
家具付き、風呂付き、庭付き。あ、でもペット不可だと？それはいただけねえな。
10月1日から入居可能。まだ完成はしてないのね。
価格は300ドル。現在だと6万円くらいなのか？へえ。なるほどな。
受付の人とかが借りるつもりなのかしらね。
まあ今はどうでもいいな。地下に行かねえと。
全くもってその通りね。
別に何か変わってたりしねえよな。誰もいねえよな。一応こっちも確認。
鍵はかかってるし、誰も入ってこれはしないと思うけどね。
だとは思うが一応な。この缶前回ひっくり返したんだが、誰か直した？
システム的なものでしょ？
さて、戻ってきたが、何かあるか？
A key? Was this always here?
鍵？
I must have missed it when I brought everything upstairs.
これか。ボードの裏に隠してあったんだな。地下室の物置部屋。
これだけ？
多分な。これ向こうの、開かなかったドアの鍵だよな、きっと。ここ。
急に音が止んだわね。
うおーなんだよ。
Give me some warning before yelling down the intercom?
Sorry. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it.
これか。
なんでここにいるのがわかったのよペギー。
このボタンを押せば繋がるんだな。お、地図だ。
何を探してるの？
いや、さっきのアパートどこかなと。あ、トレーラーパークの横って言ってたよな。ここか、ウッドサイドアパート。
まだ完成してないのに、地図に載ってるのね。
ラジオ局からも結構近いな。
そんなことはどうでもいいから、話を進めなさいよ。
そうな。お、テープだ。
Peggy, I've found a tape and a map down here.
A map of what?
地図？
Looks like it might be to somewhere in this storage area.
Weird. Well, maybe the tape will give us more information. Give it a play.
地図は見当たらないな。この写真のことか？
68. That's when this all began for me. Follow the maps. Find the tapes. I'll be waiting.
Wait, George Barrow? We all heard that he drowned after a night out drinking. Was it actually Clive? Has Clive really been the whistling man for that long?
He says I need to follow the maps and find the tapes. I guess that's what this map is about.
I think we need to see what else is hidden down here. Be careful, Forrest. Keep looking. Buzz the intercom when you found something.
いやだから、それ押さなくても繋がってるじゃねえか。まったく。で、この写真の場所に、何かがあるってことだな。
そうだと思うけど。誰に対するメッセージなのかしらこれ。
さあなあ。しかしクライブ、完全に曲の地下を私物化してんな。誰も何も言わなかったのかよ。
この部屋にはもう何もなさそうね。
ってことはやっぱそっちか。お、それかな。一応クリアリングして。
またテープレコーダーね。
写真が起きにくいぜ。
Time of autopsy is 7 a.m. Cause of death is asphyxiation from drowning. The degree of rigor mortis indicates that the subject has been deceased for 5 hours. That puts the time of death.
検視の記録か？
そうみたいだけど。なんでこんなものが。
で、また写真の場所を探していくんだな。
何かを誰かに伝えたいなら、もっとわかりやすく、まとめておいてほしいわね。
割と大体のアドベンチャーに刺さるけどな、それ。こっちではなさそうだな。ただこれはなんだぜ？
配達伝票。
9月の2日、届いたばかりだな。スターリングセキュリティ。聖ガブリエル病院、配達、設置済み。クリスティーンズ、ガス&リペア。配達設置済み。これ、業者の忘れ物か？
クリスティーンって、こないだ吹き飛んだガソリンスタンドね。
ローラーリッキーズ、ローラーリンク。あ、リッキーのところにも入ってるな。配達設置済み。
要はセコムの機械みたいなものかしら。セキュリティアラームシステム。
ウッドサイドアパートは、部品がなくて後日設置か。あと、このラジオ局も、顧客が自分で設置するからと、設置していないって書いてあるな。なんかあるのかこれ。
わからないけど。わざわざ青字になってるってことは、意味がありそうよね。
アパート以外の場所に逃げ込もうとすると、セキュリティが鳴って捕まる、とかか？
ああ、あるかも。
まあ一応覚えておくか。これ、この後何かに使いそうだな。セキュリティコードを入力する際、4秒以内で次のコードを押す必要がありますと。入力を間違えた場合は入力をやめ、アスタリスクを押して、最初からやり直してください。そうしないと誤ったコードが入力される可能性があります。
右のページには、アクセスコードとか、いろんなコードが書いてあるわね。
メンテナンスコール、アラームテスト、アラームテスト解除、解除コード。よくわからねえな。まあ後でわかるだろ。もらっておくぜ。なんだ？
何か異変があった、みたいな音がしたわね。
見逃したかな？いや、単純にここの BGM か？
あ、テープレコーダーあったわね。
ああ、ここっぽいな。どこ置いたんだこれ。まあ気にしないことにしよう。
Small lacerations to arms, legs, and face, typically obtained by running through foliage. Severe blistering to the feet, as though the deceased had been running without stopping.
さっきのテープの続きかしら。
分ける意味あったのか？
This looks useful.
あ、記入者マシューズ保安官。午前4時、ジョギングをしていたサンドラ・シャープ氏から、貯水池に打ち上げられた死体を発見したと通報。
サンドラって、確か車泥棒の事件の？
死体はジョージ・バローのものと特定。検視局に連絡し、それから少年の両親に連絡。
これ、警察への報告書？
手に入るものなのか、こんなの。2日の午後7時以降、姿を見ていなかったとのこと。
待って、68年の9月3日？ホイッスリングナイトの次の日ね。
ああ、本当だ。ホイッスリングナイトに死人も出ている。ってキャリーが言ってたが、こいつか？
しかも68年ってことは、前回ターゲットになってた。アント・ウィリアムズとキム・スタインと。名前忘れたけど、あの人たちの卒業した年よ。
あいつらがいたずらで脅かそうとして、うっかり殺しちまった？可能性はあるか。
次のテープを聞いてみましょ。
あ、これだな。
Preliminary toxicology results shows no signs of inebriation. However, a high amount of cortisol was found, indicating elevated levels of stress in the immediate moments before death.
殺されそうになって、ストレスを感じたと。
森の中を走っていた痕跡。ってさっき言ってたし、誰かに追いかけられたのかも。
それが、ホイッスリングマンの仮装をした、いたずら学生だったのかもな。じゃあやっぱりキャリーが殺されなかったのは、いたずらされていた側だったからってことか。
まだわからないけどね。
次はこれだぜ。
Additionally, there appears to be a post-mortem injury to the arm. It looks like it was trapped in a car door.
死後に、車のドアに挟まれた後？
死後、車でどこかに運ばれた。でもなぜ？埋めたりして隠したわけでもなさそうだし。
場所で犯人が特定できちまう状況だったとか、かな。まあ次のテープを聞いてみようぜ。だから何の効果音なんだよ。ここか？あったあった。座らなきゃダメかこれ。
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared for his life and was chased, resulting in a fall from a height into a body of water, where he hit his head, was knocked out, and drowned. Following that, he was moved.
Dr. Sullivan, we need to have a talk. Is that recording? Shut it off.
なんだ？
今の声。
クライブっぽかったな。
This has to be important.
調査報告。死亡者ジョージ・バロー。18歳の白人男性。死因は溺死。
18、やっぱりあの4人と同年代ね。
指関節に擦り傷。以前に関わった、喧嘩によってついたものと思われる。死亡者は攻撃的な人物として知られており、それと一致する。他の傷は見られなかった？検視官の意見では、不審な点はない。さらに、死亡者の血中の、アルコール濃度が高かった。酩酊状態で水泳したことにより、溺死に至ったとみられる。監察医、バージニア・サリバン。なんだこれ、テープの話と全く違うじゃねえか。
メモがついてるわね。バージニア、君にこんなことをさせてすまない。監察医に、事件を隠蔽させたってことね。
ひでえ話だな。なんでそんなことになったんだ？犯人に、有力者の子供でもいたか？
有力者というと、ギャローズジュニアくらいしか出てきてないけど、選挙に出るとか言ってた。
あ、レコード。
Ooh, a new vinyl for my collection.
よし、次のテープだ。
If you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead.
What the?
I'm a man who likes to stay informed. I've got subscriptions to newspapers all over the country. A few weeks ago, I noticed headlines cropping up in those those papers, one after the other. Each headline about a murder. Each murder, the death of someone I knew almost 20 years ago. And each one drawing closer to Gallows Creek.
クライブも狙われてたのか。
To the anniversary. None of us are innocent. But I don't think we deserve killing. All I hope now is that I can save some folk from the worst. That I can. I don't know. Do something to make up for what I did back then, I guess. I didn't kill anyone, mind you. But that's past mattering. Now, there's more I could say. That I should say. But my employer made it clear that my family would pay a high price if I ever spoke out. So, hopefully I've said enough for you, listener, whoever the hell you are, to start putting the truth together.
What the hell? Peggy is not gonna believe this.
クライブは誰かに雇われて、ジョージの事件の隠蔽をしてた。それが原因で今狙われている。いやもう殺されたのか？
だんだん話が見えてきたわね。
これはなんだ？キャローズクリーク高校プレゼンツ。ハンプティ・ダンプティ、愛と悲劇と裏切りの物語。演劇のテープか？主演、メイジー・カートライト。ドーン。ドーン。あの電話の女もドーンだったな。
もう一人はジョージ・バローよ。溺死した。
および、マリー・キャンベル。こいつは知らねえな。
あのドーンが、このメイジー・カートライトだとしたら、ジョージの復讐に、犯行を行っている可能性はあるのかも？
もう一声、ビシッと決定的な何かが欲しいぜ。
そうね。現状どれも推測ばかりだわ。
そもそもクライブにしたって、死体出てねえし、どこまで信用していいのか。これ自体がフェイクの可能性だってあるしな。
とりあえず戻って、ペギーと話してみましょ。
おい、戻ったぜ。
What have you found, Forrest?
It's an autopsy tape. Doesn't say for who, but I think it must be for George.
Poor George. He was so young.
Something's bugging me, Peggy.
What do you mean?
I swear I recognize the voice of the woman talking on the tape. I just can't place it.
Seriously? Do you think you've met her before?
I don't know. I mean, I just got here recently. I don't know. Found another tape. It talks more about how George died.
What did it say?
It sounds like he was running for his life. Sprinting through trees and bushes, getting cut up all over.
What would drive someone to do that?
I'm not sure yet.
これ、一本見つけるたびに戻るところだったのか。
Toxicology report. There were no signs of drinking or that he was on anything.
What? But everyone said he went swimming drunk and drowned. It was in the newspaper and everything.
I found a written autopsy report.
What does it say?
According to that, it's just like you said at the start. George drowned after getting drunk. Said he liked to fight, too.
But that contradicts the tape.
I know. And I think I know why. There's a note with the report that says, "I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia."
If it was on the autopsy report, then Virginia must be our coroner. Wait, the caller from earlier. When we had to call the takeout restaurants. Wasn't her name Virginia?
そうだったか？
We need to call her back once we finish down here. It looks like she might know something about what's going on. I found a tape that introduces a new detail to the story. Post-mortem injury. Apparently, his arm got caught in a car door.
A car door?
Yeah, after he died. How do you suppose they can tell?
How can they tell? I'm a radio producer, not a coroner.
The written report I found doesn't mention it at all.
How did his arm get trapped in a car door after he died?
Unless he got it when the police collected his body, I guess someone else must have moved him after he was dead to where he was eventually found.
But the report. What is going on here?
I found a police report. Mentions a friend from earlier, Sandra Sharp.
Sandra. The jazz runner?
That's right. She found George's body washed up at the reservoir.
The reservoir?
貯水池ってどこだぜ
What's strange about that?
George got cuts from running through foliage, right? But there's no forest around there. Also, how did it wash up at the reservoir?
What do you mean?
Reservoirs don't have tides.
But that's what the police report said.
It's not possible, though. I did a school project on reservoirs and got an A. But, yeah, not important right now. The important thing is that it doesn't make sense.
What are you suggesting then? That the body was originally found somewhere other than what the report suggests? That the sheriff tried to cover it up, but accidentally let something slip?
Something like that. I think.
Well, Sheriff Matthews wrote the report. If he hadn't been eviscerated, we could have asked him.
True. But Sandra is still alive? Once we're done down here, we should give her a call.
In another tape, the coroner comes to the same conclusion as I did. George was running from something.
Maybe an animal?
Maybe, but then there's this next bit, where the coroner thinks he was moved post-death.
So she agrees with us.
At the end of the tape, someone burst in and demanded Virginia stop recording. I think it was Clive.
This is starting to make sense now. This is a conspiracy to cover up what happened to George.
I think I found Clive's last recording. I think Clive might be gone.
Gone?
I found a confession. Not for any killings, but for playing a part in covering up George's death. He left this behind in case he died. He hoped someone would find it.
Do you think the whistling man already got him?
Possibly. We've had a lot of callers tonight, but maybe not every victim made it to the phone, you know? We don't know how many there really are.
Christ, Forrest, that's dark.
I know, but Clive said he had read about other murders in other towns, and that the murders were all folks who knew about the incident. And the killings were getting closer to Gallows Creek. He said he wanted to do something good for once.
The board in his office. He wasn't tracking people down to kill them. He was tracking them down to save them. Ugh, why didn't he just come out with all of this?
He said his employer threatened his family if he spoke out about any of it.
His employer? The one who orchestrated the cover-up? Oh, Clive. I'm sorry for thinking you'd killed all those people. Do you think you found everything?
I think so.
Forrest, what's going on here?
Someone wanted that boy's death to seem like an accident, and they hired Clive to make it look that way.
Come back upstairs when you're ready. We need to figure out our next step.
貯水池ってここだな。って、強制的に戻されるのかよ。朝3時ちょうど。朝3時ちょうど。
Thank God you're back, Forrest. I've been running out of stuff to pad our airtime with.
Peggy, you work in radio.
Forrest, I'm stressed. I mean, really, how are we supposed to keep a show going with all this happening?
割とついさっきまでノリノリだったじゃねえか。これ外せねえのか。つまり、実際の溺死現場は、こっちの方の川ってことなのか？で、その犯人はこっちのボードの4人。死ぬ直前に森を走ってたってことは、森の近くよね。あ、選択肢出てたぜ。
This is our job, Peggy. We gotta do it.
You're right. So, what's the plan now?
I think we should call Virginia back.
All right, I'll get her on the line.
Hello again, Gallows Creek. This is Forrest Nash. We're circling closer to the truth behind tonight's events. To this end, we're calling back one of our earlier callers, Virginia Sullivan.
酔っ払い学生に助けてもらったやつだよな。
Fredman Plunker here? Who's this? Is it you? Goose?
お前らまだいたのかよ。確かに返したら危険かもだけど。
Plunker, it's Goose.
Goose! Where are you? Get your ass here! The party has moved!
Oh, cool. Where's it moved to?
This old lady's house. She's pretty cool, though. She said we could raid her liquor cabinet if we stayed and protected her. Of course, we're not drinking anymore. We're staying sharp in case that whistling turd turns back up. The old lady might need our help.
Of course, man, of course. Hey, could you put me on with the old lady? You know, to check if it's cool for me to drop by.
Oh, there's that goose respect we love.
本当にもう飲んでないの
I'll
か
grab her now.
Hello? Is this Goose?
誰がグースだ
Hey, Dr. Sullivan.
Who is this?
Hey, Virginia, it's Forrest. I'm glad you're still okay.
Oh, Forrest. Sorry, I'm still jumpy.
まあ殺されかけたわけだしな。
Don't be sorry. You've been through a lot.
I'm so sorry this happened to you, Virginia.
I thought I was. I thought...
Easy. We're not calling to talk about earlier. We're calling because we think you can help us understand why this is happening tonight.
Me? What would I know?
さっきクライブの名前を出してたわよね。私は話してないわ、クライブ。だったかしら
Does the name Clive mean anything to you?
Clive? No. I don't know that name. What are you asking about this for?
You mentioned that name earlier when you called us the first time.
I don't know what I said then. I was petrified, Forrest.
Clive's the janitor at our station, and we know you spoke to him in the past.
Forrest, please. You don't know what you're doing. He'll come for me.
Virginia, it's okay. Clive won't be coming after you.
We think Clive's dead.
Dead? But isn't he? He's the whistling man, Forrest.
私らもそう思っていたが、どうもそうじゃないらしいんだぜ。
We thought so too, but...
You don't understand. All those years ago, he...
It's okay, Virginia. He's gone. We found evidence to suggest he... well...
And we found your autopsy reports for George Barrow.
How? I saw him destroy them.
Well, he didn't. I don't know if he kept them or made copies or what, but we found them. And we know it's related to what's happening tonight, which is why we called you. Why did you write a false report?
All right. One day, I came into work to find a boy on my slab. And as I finished the autopsy, this man, Clive, he just burst in. And he started making demands to give over the reports, to falsify what I found. Of course I said no. But, well, when someone wants to make you do something, they can use the carrot or the stick. For me, he used both. You see, my sister is sick. She has a chronic condition that's never going away. It's expensive to treat, and it was getting to where I couldn't afford it. And Clive promised me that his employer would pay for my sister's treatment if I did what he said, and that if I ever spoke about this, he'd beat me to within an inch of my life. I don't know why he had me do it, but my sister needed me. You have to understand. She needed me.
We understand.
なるほどな。わからないではないが、ジョージやその遺族を思うと、あんまり仕方ねえとは言いたくねえな。絶対に、賄賂や脅しに屈しちゃいけない職業ではあるわね。別に自分が殺したわけじゃない、って認識なのかもだが。この、自分の言葉でってなんだろ。選んでみたら
I don't. You helped cover up the death of a child.
Forrest!
But he threatened me. And my sister...
You abused your power to help yourself.
めっちゃストレートに言うな、フォレスト。
Forrest, that wasn't necessary.
It needed to be said.
間違ってたわけじゃないけどね。言い方に愛がねえな。
So, Virginia is tied up in all of this.
Clive threatened her to keep quiet about George's death. But for who? Why cover up these details?
それは犯人をかばうためだろうけど。
Well, we know Sandra was involved in George's death. Do you want to call her?
I do.
Alright, but before we go asking questions, I think we should know what we want to ask. Is that fair?
Yeah, we need to ask her about finding the body. She was the one who discovered it, but something just doesn't add up.
あ、マリー・キャンベル。
She knows
ハン
more
プティ・ダ
than
ン
she
プティの
said.
配役
I
にいた
wonder
な。
what she's hiding.
We'll hopefully find out soon. Anyway, just be careful when you're talking to her. Don't push too hard. We don't want her to hang up.
I'll be careful.
さっきのことがあるから念を押されたな。
Hopefully she's at her jazz studio.
多分こいつらがジョージを殺したんだと思うが。
Aha! Forrest, you're through.
おっと。
Hello, this is Sandra at Jazz Pizzazz Jazz Studio. Who's this?
Hello again, Sandra! It's Forrest Nash of
朝の3時の電話によく出るわね。
The Scream. And you're live on air.
Oh, I always thought folks called into a radio show, not the other way around. How jazzy. What can I do for you?
Well, we're trying to understand what's behind the attacks tonight. We had a few questions.
Why, Forrest, of course. Heck, after the way you saved my life, I'd say yes to just about anything you asked.
きつい選択肢は避けるんだな。じゃあこれでいいか。
Really? Well, that sounds nice. I might just call you back tomorrow then, too.
You got my number. But what about tonight? Is there anything you want to talk about right now?
Remember why we called, Forrest.
Of course. Do you know why the Whistling Man might have targeted you?
Ha! As far as I could tell, he was just a knife-wielding psycho with superhuman cardio. He'd have chased after anybody.
Right. Well, we think he might be chasing specific people. People who know about the death of a boy named George.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Sorry.
だが、第一発見者だろお前。ってくらいは言っていいかな。いいんじゃない？
Sandra, we know you found George's body. We have the police report.
I don't know what you mean.
嘘をつくんじゃないって言いたいが。
It's okay, Sandra. We know.
You do? You know about?
Yes. Of course.
あのこと？
This studio is my life. After I found the body in the river, I couldn't lose my studio. Do you understand?
どういうことだ？てかダメな選択肢がわかりやすすぎるだろ。
Sure. I understand.
When the rent just kept going up, he said he'd stop if I just needed to keep quiet. And everything would be okay.
ああ、ジョージを運んだのはサンドラだったのね。金をもらってそうしたんだな。ってことは、最初の通報の時点で、指示されたってことね。そうだな。犯人サイドの対応が早いぜ。やっぱり犯人グループに、ギャローズジュニアと書いたのかしら。
Of course. We understand.
I mean, it's not like I killed him. What was the harm in saying I found him in the reservoir instead of the river? Right? Right? I'm sorry. I can't do this.
And she's gone. I don't think that could have gone any better. You truly did great, Forrest.
Well, folks, if anyone out there has any thoughts on what's going on tonight, please call in.
That's good timing. We've got a call waiting just this second.
ああ、推理する暇もねえなおい。ギャローズジュニアの年齢とかも調べたいのだけど。
189.16.
Caller on line 1.
はいよもしも
Welcome
し。
to 189.16, The Scream, with me, your host, Forrest Nash.
Hi, Forrest. I know this is really out of the blue with everything happening tonight. But I wondered if you could send this special birthday message to my uncle.
ほう、誕生日か。今朝の3時よ。おじさんこれ聞いてるの？そもそも起きているかすら微妙だが。まあ別にいいぜ。
You know what? I'd welcome a change of pace. I'd be glad to.
Thank you, Forrest. He's my Uncle Ronnie. His first name's Peter, but he never liked his name.
ピザ？
But since he always had salt and pepper hair, even as a kid, can you believe it? Folks always called him Pepper.
Thanks for the history lesson. Is there anything besides happy birthday you'd like to say to Mr. Pepper? Oh my god damn it!
Yes! Tell him he can get the best birthday deals and party packages
Ponte
here at
datta no kayo.
Ponte's Pizza. Starting at just...
You son of a bitch! Stop calling us!
Sorry, Forrest. Let's just move on. We've already got another caller on the line.
あ、今字幕が飛んだな、なんか。電話が来てるって言ったみたいね。ペパロニって言わせたかったんだな、ポンティは。
We have a call waiting.
This is 189.16, The Scream. I'm Forrest Nash. You're on the air, caller.
あ、何笑ってんだ
Caller.
いたずらじゃないの？言っちまえよペギー。
Ponty.
Ponty's Pizza!
いやまたお前かよ。
Come rain or sleet or whistling man, we'll be there!
酔ってんのかお前。電話番号とか表示されないの？ペギーの方で。
Forrest? Forrest? Are you okay?
おいどうした？
Forrest?
I hope the whistling man gets in with his own pizza slicer.
Jesus, Forrest?
Sorry. That was too much.
It's okay. It's been a high-stress night. Don't worry about him anymore, okay? Not for tonight, anyway. I think he's spent for now. We've got another call, whenever you're ready.
また電話かよ。ペギーの方で先に相手を確認しろ。まったく。
Folks, don't spend your money at Ponty's Pizza. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Moving along, I'd like to welcome another caller to 189.16, The Scream. With me, Forrest Nash. Who may I say is calling?
Well, hello again, Forrest.
Dawn.
む、
I bet I know why you're calling. I'm sorry I didn't play your song. There's a lot going
そういえば
on.
流してなかったわ
But
ね。
please,
Never mind that now. First, I'm calling because I need your help.
助けだと？こいつちょっと怪しいんだよな。ジョージと面識があったやつの可能性があるし。まあとにかく話を聞きましょ。
are you in danger?
I sure am.
Do you mean
Yes, he's after me now.
you?
I think so. He must have heard me on the radio helping you.
でも居場所どころか、誰かもわからないはずよね、犯人には。
Right. Okay. Tell us everything.
I was out following a lead, trying to work out who would be next, after Chuck.
And what happened?
And I started to feel like I was being followed. I came back to my apartment building, but this newfangled security system has me locked out.
どういうこと？
I need you to help me get inside.
いや自分家に入れないのは意味わかんねえだろ。まあ、怪しいのは確かだけど、まだ決めつけてしまうのは早計よ、マリサ。多分これで、このアクセスコードっての使うんだろうが。
Don't you have a key to get in?
Only for the apartment door. The front gate requires an entry code.
だからだとしてなんで住人のお前がそれを知らないんだぜ。
I need that code to get inside.
Which apartment block do you live in? Maybe one of our listeners lives there too.
It's the new Woodside apartment building between the town hall and the trailer park, but I doubt any of your listeners live there. I don't have many neighbors.
Sounds like a
Woodside
prime piece of
apartment.
real estate.
The sound really carries at night. Shit.
まだあそこ、住人受け入れてないはずよね。ペットも禁止で。てか今の、リッキーのところのワンスケじゃねえか？今の特徴のある鳴き声は。リッキーんち、全然場所が違うんだが。ここだぞ。どれだけ声がでかかったらアパートまで届くんだよ。
Is that a neighbor's dog?
Yes, it is. Boy, I wish he'd muscle that thing and... Oh. And now he's blasting David Scopo out of his window. This night can't get any... He's coming down the street. I don't think he's seen me yet. Forrest, please, I need your help. I need the code for that security system, or I'm gonna die.
いやこの音楽。サンドラのとこの音楽だろ絶対。お前完全に駅前にいるじゃねえか。これ以上なく不審ね。リッキーんとこのワンスケの声がしたし。だいたいこの辺にいるのか？これもう、ドーンが犯人で間違いないだろ。あ、ちなみにアパートここな。さっき下で見たけど一応。ああ、ところでご近所さんって誰だ？
What's your neighbor's name?
I don't know my neighbors, remember? Please, I need to get in.
サンドラとか言うんじゃねえの？ご近所さん。
What's the name of the security system?
There's a sticker on the box. It says Starling Security 4000. There's a keypad, and it looks like it wants a 6-digit number.
やっぱりこれか。で、そういえばこれ、アパートにはまだ設置されてないのよね。
ツッコミどころしかねえな、ドーン。
Starling Security 4000, huh?
That's right. Very newly installed. I need the key code before the whistling man gets me.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry, Don.
Thank you, Forrest. I knew I could count on you. I'll sit out of sight. Call me back soon.
All right, folks. Here's a little tune for you all to enjoy while I try to break Dawn into her apartment.
じゃあかけてやるよ。リクエストのロングライドホームをな。
A classic backed by popular demand. This is Long Ride Home by the Barn Finds.
ふう。
You were pretty quiet there, Peggy.
Forrest, was it just me, or was there something?
It wasn't just you. Something was weird about that.
何
Yeah.
か、
Well,
何もかも
tell
が
you
って
what,
感じ
we
だっ
have a
たが、
Starling 4000 or whatever here at KFAM. Clive bought one for the station. Maybe we can find something to help. Well, I'm not sure who, but to help someone.
もう持ってきてる。
Starling 4000 user manual. Ah, these codes should come in handy. Okay, so she's locked out of the Woodside Apartments, and somewhere, Clive probably has the papers for the Starling 4000.
それはいいんだが。どうするかな。これ絶対このまま開けさせちゃダメなやつだろ。
Welcome back, Forrest. Find anything?
The Starling 4000 security manual. It's got a bunch of codes.
Good. And did you find anything else?
Nothing except the manual.
All right. Well, I'll get Dom back on the line then, Forrest. I'll let you take it from here.
Thanks, Peggy.
When you're ready, shut the music off.
おうよ。
Line 1, whenever you're ready.
Don, are you there? This is Forrest Nash from 189.16, The Scream.
Oh, thank God you're back. I've been so afraid. What's the code to the gate?
そうか、怖かったか。で、どうするかな。
まず解除コードはダメよね、多分。
アラームテスト、メンテナンスコード、アラーム解除コード。アラーム鳴らしたらどうだ？
それくらいしか意味がありそうなのないわね。
メンテナンスってのがよくわからないが。よし、じゃあアラームテストでいこう。間違ってたらごめんだぜ。
The code is 191519.
Thank you, Forrest.
あ、この音楽電話の向こうか。
アラーム鳴ったわね。
大丈夫だよな。
Son of a bitch. Ah!
無理やり入ろうとしてる？
Is she?
銃声？
Yeah, stay out! Nobody disrespects the sanctity of the ring!
あれ、
Don't
リ
ever
ッキ
come
ー？
back here again!
リッキーの方が狙われてたの
I'm calling
か。
the cops!
そういえばリッキーのところにも、セキュリティ設置されてたわね。
Ricky, get back inside and turn on the radio. Whoever that was, she was trying to break into the ring.
She? Forrest, man, you got no idea. That was him!
男
That
だ
was the
と？
whistling man! The alarm gave me just enough time to get my rifle. I don't like hurting folk, but I can't let anything happen to Maxie. He's my best friend, you know?
ああ、無事で
Listen,
よか
man,
った
I'll
よ
head。back inside. Gonna barricade that window. My man, thank you. You and Peggy can skate for free whenever you want, forever. That's a done deal.
Thanks, Ricky. Can't wait.
You got it. Talk to you soon.
Okay, Gallows Creek, here's some music while we process what just happened.
犯人は男だったって言ってたな。
やっぱりもう一人いるのね、犯人。
リッキーはそっちのターゲットだったってことか。
So, the whistling man is a woman?
ドーンのことだな。もう不審すぎたからな、あいつは。
Yeah, I worked it out a while ago.
Yeah, sure, Forrest. You just never mentioned it.
ついさっきだっ
She
たから
called
な。
up. You spoke to her multiple times.
最初の電話の時点じゃ、さすがにわからんかったけどな。さっきの電話がおかしすぎたからね、いろいろ。
Yeah, she seemed pretty normal.
Why do you think she requested that song?
外におびき出すためかと思ったけど。あの時何もなかったのよね。
ああ。じゃあ、クライブの部屋を見せるのが目的だったとか？
でも、ラジオ局の地下がああなってるって、知ってたのかしら？
犯人、クライブ以外のラジオ局員とか？わかんねえけど。
それか、あの曲を流すことが目的だった。とか、理由はわからないけど。
混乱させるため、が目的なら成功しているな。いっそこれにするか。多分絶対違うけど。
まあ、さすがにここで間違えても、ストーリーに変化はないでしょうけどね。
じゃあこれにしよう。
To mess with us?
Yeah, maybe. So? What now?
I guess I should make an announcement. We do have new info.
Okay, kill the music and you can make the announcement.
了解。